So the first thing you'll need is your crochet hook, and you can find them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or any craft store really, and you can get them in metal, plastic, or wood, and it doesn't matter which, it's just up to you. And I would recommend starting with an H hook or 5mm, because the larger it is, the easier it will be to work with your yarn. And for your yarn, you're going to want to start with a worsted weight yarn, or possibly something larger, but I find this the easiest to work with, and Red Heart is a really good brand to begin with because the yarn is very beginner friendly. And again, you can find the yarn at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, or you know, just any craft or yarn store nearby. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to start with the slip knot onto your hook, and to do that you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, leaving a shorter end in front of you and the longer end connected to your skein furthest from you. And then you're going to take the short end and wrap it over the long end, rather cross it over the long end and hold that there. Then you're going to wrap the long end of yarn back to front around your hook and pull through the loop that is on your hook, and then pull that tight, and that forms your slip knot. So you'll want to practice this a bit so that you've got that down. And then the next thing you'll want to figure out is how you want to hold the tension of the yarn in your other hand. And I just wrap it around my palm and then around my pointer finger. There really is no right way to do this. Just do what feels comfortable for you, because once you start crocheting, you don't want your hand to cramp up. So the next thing we're going to do is start your foundation chain, and you will always start with this when crocheting. And to start your foundation chain, you're going to take the yarn and wrap it around your hook back to front, and this is called yarning over. And then you're going to pull that through the loop on your hook. So yarn over, back to front, and pull through. And what helps when you're doing this is to kind of hold on to the chain you're making to kind of keep the yarn in place so that it doesn't twirl around your hook. And just keep practicing the chains until you kind of get a feel for the tension and working with the yarn. In the beginning, you might find that you're crocheting rather tight or rather loose. So that's why I suggest to just keep practicing the chain until you get a feel for it. So don't beat yourself up if it doesn't look quite as even as mine. It won't. Mine did not look like this when I first started. So this is what the front should look like, about. And it should look like a series of little V's. or chains. And then the back looks like there are a bunch of little bumps, is how I would describe it. And so here's how you can figure out how many chains you've made. And that's by counting the little V's. So if you can see where my thumb is at, that's one V, that's another V, and another. So to count, that'd be 1 chain, 2, whoops, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. And that's it for this tutorial.